In this video, we're going to be talking about financial aid and paying for school. So there's different ways that students choose to pay for school. There's financial aid, which some students use, grants, and student loans through the use of financial aid. Some students come in with scholarships or college bound. Some students are using the veteran benefits, either their own or if they're a dependent from a veteran. And other students who are paying out of pocket are able to make a payment plan. So let's start with the financial aid process. When students apply for financial aid, they apply for either the FAFSA or they fill out the WASFA. It goes through an initial approval process, and if your degree has been confirmed, you've let the school know which degree you are pursuing, and then register for classes. Financial aid will then pay your tuition as long as there's nothing else that they need from you. Throughout this entire approval process, financial aid could request more information from you. So for example, if any details had changed throughout the time that you had filled out the FAFSA or went in and resubmitted some information, you could be flagged for verification, meaning that financial aid needs more information from you to verify the information you're submitting. It's important to know that once you fill out the financial aid, you need to be checking on your financial aid status regularly to make sure that if there's anything that they need, that you submit that in a timely manner. Once financial aid has paid your tuition, they will mail you a check if there's anything additional outside of what it costs to pay for tuition. This money can be used for books or housing or whatever it is you need it for school. The requirements for financial aid, to keep your financial aid in good standing, the first thing to getting financial aid is to check your financial aid portal. We'll have a link for that below. The financial aid portal is where you can check how much you've been awarded in financial aid and if there's anything that you need to do or submit to the financial aid office. All of that can be found in your portal. You want to complete these steps as soon as possible so you don't hold up financial aid. And then continue checking that portal until your tuition has been paid, and you do this every quarter. It's just important and good practice to be checking on that. Once you're in classes, in order to maintain or keep your financial aid, it's important to take a look at your GPA. A 2.0 GPA is the minimum. That's a C average each quarter and overall. So if you go below that, that can start to impact financial aid. The other thing is, obviously, if you're going below 2.0, are you passing all of the credits and classes that you're attempting? Financial aid has a percentage. They are actually looking at a formula. Are you passing at least 67% of the credits you are attempting? Obviously, we hope that you guys do not get into this situation, and so we want to make sure that you are aware of the rules. If you are at any point concerned about your GPA, how you're doing in your classes, passing your credits, please reach out to an advisor. Please talk to your instructor. Seek out tutoring. We want to do everything that we can to help you so that you avoid this situation of not being able to receive financial aid in the future. The other thing regarding financial aid and also the cost of tuition is how many credits you're enrolled in. So to be a full-time student, that's anywhere from 12 or more credits. The average for a full-time student is about 12 to 15 credits. Typical classes are about 5 credits each, especially those that are online are almost always 5 credits each. So a student might be in 15 credits, so that might be 3 classes. Some students want to start part-time or just take a couple of classes. Part-time is considered 6 to 11 credits. Financial aid does not fund lower than 6 credits, so something to keep in mind. So to be part-time, you would at least need 2 classes. This is kind of a fun hashtag, but credits matter. The number of credits you take determines how much aid you are going to receive. Obviously, you don't need as much money for 12 credits as you do for 15. So the number of credits you take determines how much financial aid you need for that quarter. Just a warning, dropping any classes or dropping from full-time to part-time can affect your financial aid. So at any point, if you're thinking about dropping a class completely, definitely check with financial aid just to be sure you know what's going to happen. The other thing is, if you want to switch your class, which students do all the time, if you're switching a class that keeps the same amount of credits, so let's say you're in 15 credits, but you switch it out for a 5-credit class, you're still in 15 credits, that shouldn't impact financial aid. However, if you're switching from, say, 15 credits and going down to 12 credits and financial aid has already processed, definitely check with financial aid first because you don't want to be in a situation where you owe any money. Again, regarding financial aid, We are in the 18-19 academic year, so applying for financial aid, if you haven't already, do it as soon as possible. Especially with grants, it's first come, first serve. And when they run out of grant money, then the only thing you might be eligible for is loans. So the earlier you apply for financial aid, the better. And it sounds early, but we're already looking at the 1920 school year, which begins summer 19. You can already fill out the financial aid application for the 1920 school year. Do that as soon as you can. Again, first come, first serve when it comes to those free monies. If you want any help with filling out your financial aid application, our Career Center offers free help. So you can contact them and get connected with them, and they can help you fill out the financial aid. So again, the financial aid portal is available on LCC's website, which we'll look at here in a second. And you might need to fill out additional paperwork, so be sure to be checking on their financial aid at least every week, just until financial aid or tuition has been paid, just in case, because as they review, things might pop up. Even if you thought things were good to go last week, if they continue to review everything, they might need something from you next week. So always double check. And you can always call the financial aid office or stop by if you need additional assistance. If you're planning to pay out of pocket, you can enroll on a payment plan if you don't have all the money at once for your tuition. So there's different reasons why a student might need to enroll on a payment plan. One is if you're paying for school on your own, obviously if you don't have all the money right away, you can submit or fill out a payment plan, and you can do all of that online. If financial aid doesn't cover all of your tuition and fees, let's say you receive some financial aid, but it doesn't cover everything, you can sign up for a payment plan so that you don't, again, have to pay all the rest of it at once. The last thing is, if you are a first-time loan buyer, student loan, for the first time, there's going to be a 30-day hold on your money, which means you may not have the money right away for books. So you can set up a payment plan. That's the smartest thing to do to make sure that you're held in your classes, that you're not showing having not paid. We do have a book voucher at the cashier for those who are loan borrowers and are on that 30-day hold, so you can still get your books on time. So make sure to check with the cashier's office if you have any questions about that. There is a one-time $30 fee to enroll in a payment plan, and it's online enrollment only, but that's definitely worth it if that's something that you need to do. A couple important dates for upcoming for the winter 2019 quarter is that tuition arrangements or plans need to be submitted and finalized by December 31st. Classes begin January 7th. So in moving forward, if you think about it, tuition is due the week before classes begin. This means that financial aid is all set to go, they've got everything they need, or your loan is just pending and waiting for that 30 days, or you've set up a payment plan, or you've paid tuition. Something needs to be done, and they need to know what your plan is by December 31st. If you don't meet that deadline, you run the risk of being dropped from your classes, and we don't want that to happen to you all. From LCC's homepage, hover over Enrollment and go down to Financial Aid. This is where you can find the login to your financial aid portal. When you click Login, it will take you to the login screen. The username, as noted here, is your social security number, not your ID number for LCC. Your password is your global PIN, which is typically your birth date. But this is where you log in to view your financial aid portal and to know any next steps that you might need for financial aid. Also from the financial aid page, it's important to note the handbook and forms section. They recommend that you read and review the financial aid handbook. There is a section in there just for quick tips and suggestions. At least take a look at that for sure. But also if you're in need of any forms, if financial aid is looking for those forms, you would likely find them here. Then also the key dates and deadlines. This is also very important to know the deadlines for financial aid. You don't want to miss any key important deadlines so that you receive your financial aid in time. If you're looking for payment plan options and how to do that online, hover over Enrollment and go down to Costs and Aid. This is also a great page for learning what the tuition and fee costs for LCC are, but then also you can take a look at the payment options. For payment options, you can pay in person, you can pay online, or you can set up that payment plan. By clicking in here, they'll walk you through the enrollment process for the payment options. Also on the Cost and Aid page is something called iGrad. iGrad is a free online money management program, and likely if you're receiving financial aid, you'll be required to go through this program. It will likely be listed in your portal as one of the steps that you need to take to get financial aid all set up. If you have any questions about financial aid, you can go back to the financial aid website, and there is contact information at the bottom. You can contact them directly, or you can send them an email.